Look, we already got a good crowd in here already. Folks, let me just tell you right now, before we came on here, Gene wants to take this time discussion and bring it into fantasy land. So he can join his MAGA comrades online that feed you fantasy.
It's not fantasy.
So let me start out by saying, as someone that knows quantum physics, is involved in quantum computing and so on, there is no time travel. No one is traveling in time. Now, you might be on an LSD trip, or you might have taken eaten a couple of bad shrimp and had a mental experience where you thought you were with the Israelites crossing the Red Sea, but that doesn't mean you actually time traveled.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to go research the Bible and find someone that has, in a certain way, like Elijah on the mountain, where they say, "Who is this? Who on the Transfiguration? Is that not? Yeah. Is that not time travel to a certain degree? The Transfiguration. What is Elijah doing there? I think that's it. I'm not. My Bible is not always on point, but I'm just saying. There's.
You mean when? Are you talking about when the Lord showed Himself to the three disciples that He brought up to the Mount of Transfiguration, and He was joined by Moses and Elijah? That's not time travel.
What do you call that?
And if anybody could time travel, it's Christ Himself, because
there you go. Then at the very least, no.
He's outside of time. But can you even imagine if time travel was available to all of the schmucks that are online?
I am not saying
that would love to go back in time and wreck history for everybody.
We're not talking. I am not talking about Back to the Future, where you have a spaceship and you go there and go look around. I'm not talking about that at all.
All right. So what are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying, if a person could go back and see certain things, you might not call it time travel. You might not officially give it the title time travel. But to go back and forth in history and look at things, what do you call that? Not time travel, but like looking into the future?
Yeah. And where is this happening?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
You don't know. Oh, well, if we're gonna go on to the why don't we make a phone call? I got to tell you, the Washington Post, New York Times, Time Magazine, they all have this department called Tall Tales, where we could phone it in and we could tell them wild stories about what ifs. Now, you wanted to say something where you thought that time travel was legitimate.
Okay. So if Jesus, hold on, if Jesus is the master of time, however you want to say it, what do you call that?
He's outside of time. He created everything. So
if He created it,
you cannot apply you to Jesus Christ.
No, but if Jesus Christ allowed you to,
no. Jesus Christ isn't allowing you to time travel.
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Moses. If who was on the mountain with him?
Do you not think that the spirit of Moses came with Christ to the Mount Transfiguration? You think he was time traveling from back in the days of the Old Testament?
He got there. I'm just saying, I don't know how we got there.
You don't know how he got there? Well, how did the angels get? Oh, I can't even have this discussion with you. When the Lord and the two angels visited Abraham, right before they went down to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay.
All right. How did they get there?
I have no idea. I don't know. To fly down? I'm not joking. I'm not making fun of it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they came down from the spirit realm into the physical realm and manifested themselves in our realm, or whatever you want to call it, our ether. But that's not time travel.
I just think that your definition of time travel, okay, let's just do it this way. Someone going, we already discussed it. with someone going and looking into the future and the probabilities of it, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes,
So
game theorying things out is way different.
Well, I know, but when you talk about the time travel, is my point. Is when you talk about, no one's talking about Back to the Future going in a physical trip and going there and walking around and seeing your alternate self.
Okay, so then what are you talking about?
Then I'm talking about the ability to see into the past or into the future through whatever means possible. How could you say that's not possible at all? I mean, you make it a definition of time travel. I'm just saying.
Because you don't understand it. Look, this kind of situation that you're describing is vastly fluid. So there's no, in other words, even if you had a quantum prototype and game theoried it, and were able to catch a glimpse of something that might be,
okay,
doesn't mean that another event, unforeseen, comes into play that knocks your might be.
I know. We talked about it. It's like waves of the ocean. It comes in, they want to mess with it, and they could switch it out if that's the probability.
Right, but that's not time travel.
Well, okay, I'm not. Well, Dave, whatever. Okay, I know it's not time travel. I'm not saying this, but if I go back
to, you're arguing the point that there is time travel.
No, I'm saying, well, it's within your definition of it.
What do you mean my definition? I don't have what do you mean my definition? If I hold up a rock and I say this is a rock, that's not my definition of a rock. It's a rock. Okay,
it's like this. Okay, let's forget the definition of it.
This is what you do. Let me ask you a question. When you open up your checking account, you go online and you check the amount that's in your checking account, and you see a certain figure. Do you say, "Oh, well, that's just the bank's definition of what I have in the account"?
All right. No.
And do you go in and argue with the branch manager that your definition differs?
There's other definitions of it. There's other definitions. Dave, okay, when you look in the they go, "Oh,
you should bring this
definition."
Gene, this is a great one. You should bring this argument to Vegas. And after you lose at the craps table or the blackjack table or whatever, you should start arguing with them, going, my definition of blackjack at 21 is very different than your definition, and have a big argument.
Okay, all right.
So after they toss you out in the back in the alley.
All right. Here, let's just talk, forget everything else. Let's talk about the past. Okay? Let's just talk about the past. Forget going into the future. Just talk about the past.
Do you have an 8-ball there that you shake up every time you want?
It's not an 8-ball. I want us
to truly educate our people.
I'm truly educating.
Time, and you're off.
No, I am not.
Like the influences, you're off in fantasy land.
No, I am not in fantasy land.
You'll be telling me to sit under a wooden triangle on a chair that vibrates.
You're telling me that you can't. I got you on this. You're telling me you can't go back into the past and look into it, view it,
view the actual events you're there in them. No, you can't.
No, well, okay. See, that's the definition of it. What I'm saying is, I got some old VHS tapes. It's in YouTube. You can go with the technology we have today. You can go back and peer into the past. It's there. You recorded it. People do it to me all the time. Gene, how you said this whenever they're. I was like, I didn't say that. And they go, oh, yes, it is. And they show me a video.
That's a recording of the past.
But my point is, it's possible to peer into the past just because we don't have the technology or it's not out there. We have the. Could you imagine? Okay, let's do it this way. Could you imagine the technology before VHS? They would be like, get out of here. You can't look at once the past happens, it's the past. You can't go back and look. And then the VHS and the video cameras allowed us to.
These are the type of debates. These are the type of arguments that waste resources.
It's not wasting resources.
It's wasted resources. Instead of me helping educate them on time and speed and space, right? That is actual information. You're in the H.G. Wells fantasy land.
No, it's not H.G. Wells fantasy land. Dave, okay, let's really quick. Let's go back to, I don't know, 1700s. I don't know. We're living in the 1700s. We got a record number here too. All right, Dave. Yes, come on, Darren. All right, really? All right.
Yeah, I just want to touch on this real quick. Reincarnation theory. First of all, it is appointed unto man once to die and then the judgment, but that's beside the point. The other thing is, I want to know in all of these reincarnation stories that people tell, why aren't they ever like ditch diggers, or in a prior life they cleaned toilet bowls or something like that? Every story you hear, there was some kind of prince or princess and they had some wonderful life. It's unbelievable.
What are you trying to lure me into taking that side? What are you saying?
No, see, Superman can tell you about speed and time, right? Because that's what Gene grew up. He grew up watching the old Superman, where Superman would fly around the Earth in the opposite direction and cause the.
I bet you don't even know.
And in the show, the Earth would stop rotating, and then he could bring Lois Lane back.
It wasn't Lois Lane. It was some Chinese woman.
All right. So look. If you're going to talk about viewing the past by watching old videos, that's not what you're implying. You realize
I am okay. No, well, you know what I am saying, Mr. Technology Man, is that if there was a technology that was not invented yet but was invented later on, people would be like, "Whoa, it's so simple." Yeah,
I agree. If somebody showed somebody in the 1600s videotapes of them young and growing up, they would, of course, they look at you and say, "What kind of sorcery is this?" That's true, but it's just,
that's my point, Dave. That's my point.
Look,
you're making like, oh, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. I'm not saying that it existed like whatever.
Yeah, but see, your implication is that people can time travel. That's what you're implying. But then when somebody sits you in a chair and tapes you to the chair and forces you to say what it really is, then you're like, well, I meant like videotape. Man. That's what I was talking about. That's what I meant. That's what you do.
When did I become John Travolta? When did you give me the John Travolta voice?
My hair. But this is what you're doing. You're going around going, oh yeah, man, time travel. Oh yeah, I can view the past. I can view it.
It's like I was time traveling, but I wasn't really time traveling. It's like the baby was talking, but it wasn't really talking.
I'm telling you. All right, so look. Let's get back to what we know to be true.
Okay.
And the basis for all of this Q is for quantum and the quantum computing and technology. It all starts with the discovery that the speed of light is the fastest speed there is. All right. And that speed, if something is moving at the speed of light, time stands still. When you hit the velocity of the speed of light, time is not moving. So time literally stops at the speed of light.
Okay.
So now, in my own personal thinking, I think this is how the Lord Jesus was able to vanish out of their midst. So whenever there was a crowd and they were looking to stone him or throw him off a cliff or whatever it was, he would disappear. And personally, I think it's because he is the light, he's able to move at a speed where which everything else stands still. So that's personally my thought. But let me just explain this. It's a difficult topic, but let me try and get it out there. All right, suppose you had a magic car, and your magic car can only go one speed, and that's 100 points, 100 speed points. That's it.
When I drive, I only drive 45 miles an hour.
I know. I drive 45. So look, and the steering wheel up here. And the steering wheel's up here.
Oh, God, 40. Sir, you're actually going too slow. I know, not speeding.
That's right. All right. When Gene drives, all you see is two hands and a hat. All right. So look, so your car can only go 100 speed points. Driving north is aging. Driving east is speed. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's confusing even for me. So if you're sitting still on your couch, that's as if you were driving straight north and nothing's happening and time is moving as it normally would. The clock is ticking and so on. However, if you drive fully east at 100 speed points, that means that you've used all the speed points going east. So therefore, there's nothing left for going north with time. Therefore, time sits still while you go in the opposite direction. I know this sounds wacky, but I'm telling you, quantum physicists have used this whole concept to build out this compute technology. And that is at the speed of light, time stops. If, for example, if you get up and you go outside and you go for a run, literally your time is slowing down.
Okay. All right. Guys, there's a much more. Didn't you say also there's much to this? Okay. Just do this.
No, time is not a human invention. Time is not a human invention. All
right.
Where is that? Where would you even get that from?
No, where does he get? I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, like, what he's talking about is our perception of time. Our perception of time. Counting.
Yeah, but your time is not a perception.
It can be. We talked about the Psychology Today thing that just came out. It is in your perception of your mind as well.
All right. Explain to me how time is a perception.
Okay. All right. Ready? All right. You are growing up.
Yes.
Okay. You're growing up, and you are in the first grade or the second grade or the third grade.
What do you do when you're in this first grade and the clock strikes 3?
No, I'm just saying that it took forever.
No. I know you're going to generalize this, see? But I'm asking you, what time did you have to have your ass in the seat in first grade?
Probably 9 a.m. I'm going to just take
9 a.m. Is that your perception?
No, but I'm just saying.
And then what did you do when the clock struck 3 o'clock?
Okay, Dave, I get it. I left the school.
That's not your perception.
Well,
that's what it is.
No, but what I am saying is, right now, today, You guys, everyone knows this. We wake up, Dave and I start our day about 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning, and we go to 5. I wish it was 5 p.m. We work till about 7 at night. We really do. We do take a break. All right, we do. All right. But my point is, Dave, my perception of the day, it's like freaking a Concorde. But back in the day when I was in first grade, from 9 to 3, my perception of time was like it was as slow as molasses. So there you go.
Yeah,
See?
but that's okay. That might be like if you get busy doing something and you get very involved, and all of a sudden you look at the clock and a couple of hours have gone by. Right? So you were heavily involved in your activity and not paying attention to what was going on the clock, right? So you weren't clock watching. That's why they say, a watch pot never boils.
Right. Well,
right?
I think
that's your perception, but that's not reality.
True. But the thing is, how do we get it, or how does a person get it so that in the boring times, the day, it goes faster, and then when you are having a great old time, it doesn't go like a flash. See, I mean Darren's here. Darren could probably write an article on that. Seriously, Psychology Today. I was going to bring it up on the video, but that's also what people are wanting to know. So that's a worthy discussion.
Okay, yeah, that's a fun discussion to have some other time, but that has nothing to do with.
Well, I tell you this, it's the big. Once we did the video yesterday on the thing, everyone's here. We have a record number of people watching. Everyone wants to talk about it because they're interested in it.
Yeah, because look, and that's why right off the bat I said nobody's going back in time, nobody's jumping into the future. That's not happening.
Right. Okay, but you're talking about technology, and I'm just saying that there's technologies that could. Okay, granted. Okay, it's like I said, we're not talking about Marty McFly hopping in a machine. That has never been. It was whether or not you can look at however you want to call it, probabilities or whatever, but the technology to say these are the things that people have seen that would happen, and then if they could do something to stop it. That I don't think. I mean, maybe if I budget.
What are you saying? You're not talking about. Obviously, you're not talking about a time machine. So what are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about the technology to build something to look into the future or look into the past.
The only thing that we have that can that looks into the future per se is the quantum computing with game theory that can very accurately predict future events based on what's happening currently. But even that's not like the actual future.
Well, I mean, this is new. When I'm talking about quantum computing, it's new to us. Q is for quantum. That's new. So, hey, this is what it could do, and that's what people are interested in. I mean, I'm not saying like I think that movie was one of my favorite movies. It ruined it for everybody. When Marty McFly goes back into and he sees himself in it or whatever, however that movie went. I don't think anyone's talking about that technology, and I don't think it exists like you said it doesn't exist. It's moving one way. But if you have the ability to, which is a harder part, to go into the future to say, okay, these are the things that we envision happening. How hard is it to go to the past to see that?
Okay.
And I'm not crazy with saying all this stuff. I'm just saying what everyone's thinking when they see this.
Yeah, but what everyone's thinking isn't real. What a lot of people are thinking, because not everyone is thinking this. So what a lot of people are thinking isn't real. The ultimate situation is this. We know that God sits outside of time. God is the light, right? He is the light. So he's moving at the speed of light or whatever. So he is outside of time, right? All right. So as a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, once you're saved and you receive the indwelling of the Holy Spirit of God, that same light is now indwelling you, making you right now an eternal being. Right? So right at the moment you're saved, you have an eternity with Christ forever.
I'm not arguing. I agree with that. I mean, I don't have to.
So that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate situation. And as much as man has tried to see the future or see future events and so forth, I mean, there's tons of TV shows. Even the stupid show Chuck was about that. You remember that show Chuck, where he had the good-looking blonde CIA agent as his handler, and he happened to, with a photographic memory, consume all of this technology called the Intersect. It was a mess. But that was about a guy that could predict future events. But that's not real.
If a person, whether you say is using quantum computing to predict through game theory certain events, and then it happens that way, then it's real. I mean, you might not. When we use the term time travel, it's maybe the fourth definition down, because a word has many definitions. But like one of the definitions, time travel is freaking what Marty McFly did. A person has a time machine and goes back and forth in time and dials it in. But that's not the only definition of it. There could be other definitions of it. I'm just using it in a broader sense because that's what people want to talk about, and then that's your expertise with quantum.
In the physical realm, the way this is set up, we are bound to time. There's no escaping it. If we were not bound to time, then you wouldn't die. You wouldn't age.
Well, I know in the realm that we are now, we're in that way, and I agree with you with our faith in Jesus. But I'm just saying with all this technology that like to be so, I'm not saying you, but to be so narrow-minded to say that there doesn't exist a technology, not to go in back and forth or whatever, but to go there and peer into it. I mean, I think it's already.
This right. Anne is saying here, it is man that made the clock to so-called measure time. No. Man didn't make a clock. Man observed the day and the night and the seasons and the signs and the times, and then created instruments to mimic that so that they could better keep up with the day. People didn't walk around with watches, 5,000 years ago. They had sundials, or they looked up at saw where the sun was in the sky and determined about what time of the day it was.
Okay, well, one more going along with that thought. Okay, because and don't be like, oh, that's so stupid, because people are, man, I have the heartbeat of what people say online.
Yeah, you say that all the time, but I'm not sure you do.
I do, because that is why so many people are tuning in, because we're talking about this. I'll give you an example. All right. The example is this: people are saying, "Hey, this doesn't seem real," because when I was growing up, it seemed like time was slower, and then now in this day, it seems like it's speeding up. And you even said, I can't remember if it was during the show or before, the circling the drain thing near the end of it. So
it appears like time might be moving faster, because as this age comes to an end, it's like it's circling the drain.
So if that was the case, then time has changed from what it.
Yeah, but it hasn't changed for you. In other words, time might be moving faster, which means you're moving faster within time. So your perception would be the same.
Okay, then time is not what's that word? Infinite, the same all the time. I know it sounds crazy, but like when the person that just commented, if you have, okay, here do it this way. Could God speak? I know God could do anything. Okay, so
that's correct. That's correct, Minchula. All what we did is we invented clocks and so forth, and those clocks, by the way, are measured for accuracy by how they compare to what our environment and what's around us, right? How they compare to the sun, the stars, the moon, and so on. And that's how time is actually measured. All right.
All right. No, so my point is, are we living in a different reality now versus the reality in the 60s, where time is actually sped up for us living now, as if someone messed with us and said, okay, well, let's spin it a little faster, and then the sun and the moon comes faster, whatever. Oh, with okay, Joshua, God made the sun not move, so then time.
And do you know that there is actually a record of that?
So so then.
But Joshua didn't do that.
Of course he did. Well,
Joshua didn't. Joshua had.
I get it. Oh, I'm not saying. Oh, yeah, I'm saying. Dave, you think I'm saying like, he did it?
Well, yeah, you are, because what you're saying is that we can go back and view things in the past, and that we're all involved in time travel. That's your argument. That's your implication throughout
argument.
Throughout this whole half hour.
I know what the
implication has been that somehow, some way, we're time travelers.
No, okay. To prove it, all we have to do is after this show, we go back in time, watch what I said, and it's going to be different.
No. See, that's not what you're implying, young man. And you know that. And then you bring up about how God stalled the sun in the sky to lengthen the day so the Israelites could win.
Well,
that had nothing to do with Joshua.
I'm saying this is the account. It's the account of Joshua.
No. Your implication is that lends itself to your time travel. See, you're laughing because you know it's ridiculous.
No, I'm not. The guys. Oh, jeez. All right.
Okay, this I will agree with. I think the constant bombardment of info and stuff happening. I will tell you, Ann. That's an excellent statement, because if I get any more notifications from my computer to the phone to the this to the that, it's maddening. It really is. It really is maddening. So I agree. We're in an age of overwhelm.
Oh my goodness! All right.
But the point of all of this is to show that, and tomorrow we're going to continue this discussion, because we know now through numerous experiments that the fastest speed is the speed of light, and at that speed, time stops. Now, with that said, Tesla disagreed with Einstein and believed that there were electromagnetic waves that were in the ether that were traveling thousands of times the speed of light. So they had lots of disagreements on that. And we're going to get into all of that tomorrow.
All right. Okay. Wow. What do you want to do, Dave? You want to do the devotional? You want to talk about soccer? I'm not joking. I'm like, when I say that, I'm not. I'm not even like. How do you go? Well, you can do with the devotional, but how do you go from this discussion
Well, I like this. I time travel my butt to bed at night, and I time travel my butt awake in the morning. Couldn't tell you what I dream of. Yeah.
All right.
How is it possible to exceed the speed of light? Well, Tesla had some ideas on that, Brad. We'll go into that tomorrow, and we'll see if those ideas held water over time.
All right, here's my a Tesla video for today.
Yeah, Phil.
What was that?
If the bison was traveling east at the speed of light, and the suspenders guy was traveling west, how old would suspenders guy be if he hits the ground?
Thank you.
He would feel at least 25 years older once he hit the ground.
Thus proving my point, Dave.
Yes, of course. Now, Gene is going to get into his 1966 Volkswagen after this. Flip the clutch, press the clutch and shift the gear, and the next thing that's going to happen is he's going to be back in 1945. That's what that's the image that he wants to conjure up, so people can say, "Oh, I think Gene Ho's time traveling." I think Gene Ho he's not Gene Ho, he's really Phineas McGee or Tits McGee or whoever.
I was washing toilets in 19.
Exactly. I was cleaning the outhouse for the Revolutionary War guys.
All right. I don't even know where to go from here. What do you want to do? What are we talking about?
Well, okay. We got things we have to do. Okay. What do you have lined up next?
Well, okay, I have the devotional. I have this whole thing about them saying that Trump was booed at the World Cup. I don't think that happened, but whatever.
Nah, that's silly. He was booed and everything else. The one thing he did do, he did hang around for that picture a little long. The guy.
Dave, this is my point. This is time travel. It's like, hey, I got this video. Screw it. We don't need the video.
He actually had his arm wrapped around Trump's waist to kind of like help him off the stage. And Trump's patting him on the back and goes, no, you get out of here. I'm hanging out a few more minutes.
All right. You know what? Let's at least, let's make sure we get the devotional. Yes. I won't say out of the way, but like to make sure we do it.
Yes.
All right. Guys, check out the devotional and don't go away. It's too late to share. Well, anyway, here we go. Believers in Christ know to pray. And when you're praying, what else should you do in addition to that? Well, it's interesting because Jesus himself at the Garden of Gethsemane told his disciples there to watch and pray. Basically, watch out for temptations, watch out for the movement of God, just watch and pray. But also, there's another reminder from the Apostle Paul who said the same thing. The day's scripture is from Colossians 4, verse 2, and it says there, continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving. In other words, it's not just the prayer, but also to watch. And really, watch for what? Well, there's also watching for the blessings of God in your life. There's also watching for protections that you might not have noticed that you could speak more and give thanks to in prayer. All these things go hand in hand with prayer. But when you're all done with that, what else should you do? The following scripture tells us, and it says there in Colossians 4, 3 and 4, withal praying also for us, that God would open upon us a door of utterance to speak the mysteries of Christ, for which I am also in bonds, that I may make it manifest as I ought to speak. So after we pray, and after we receive blessings that we had to watch out for some time to say, wow, God's really with me and he's helping me, then speak. Once you have these blessings, it says there to tell other people and make this manifest to others in order to give glory to the Lord.
That's very true, because when things are going tough for a Christian, the first thing that is they immediately start to pray, and they'll ask everybody to pray for them and so on. And then if the Lord blesses them and the situation turns around, you never hear from them.
Yeah,
You never hear, oh, I just wanted to let you know that this happened and it was great and the Lord really blessed us and I can't believe. None of that all goes away.
Well,
Nobody says a
remember,
word.
I don't have the facts totally right, but when Jesus said to the guy that was cured of leprosy, he goes, 10 were cured, right? How many showed up to say thank you or whatever? I won't say whatever, but it was only like one that came back.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
That's right. I mean, that's how people are.
Okay. Dave, what do you want to talk about? China and Trump, or you want to talk about Iran? I think either way, or Forbes.
Well, the thing is with Iran, this is I just hope it doesn't get too messy. You know, I mean, if we have the capability to knock out their defenses and so on, it's going to take. We're in the night. What is this? The ninth day of strikes?
Yeah, it's still continuous, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, okay, these guys have dug deep, and they don't care about the people.
Okay.
Right? So they don't care about the people. The regime guys have dug deep, and they figure as long as they can live underground like moles and outlast Trump, they've won.
Okay. On the dispatch, we talked about Steve Forbes. Let me play this video of him and what he says. Okay, here we go. Steve Forbes.
Agreements with Iran have never been worth the paper they've been written on. Yet the president and some of his officials thought they could cut a deal with these vipers. Indeed, the president gave the impression he wanted a face-saving way to wash his hands of the war with Iran. Why else would he call off attacks when we hadn't completed hitting the list of intended targets? Despite an immense battering from the U.S. and Israel, the mullahs and most of the world concluded Iran had won a strategic victory. The regime not only survived, but gained a de facto control over the crucial Strait of Hormuz. Thankfully, Iran overplayed its hand. Along with its proxies, it has blatantly violated the ceasefire since last April.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the only way, I hate to say it, but the only way out of this is we have to take control of Cog Island. That's it. We got to take control of Cog Island, where all their oil is, and we have to put them out of business. How else are you going to do it? These guys are they're dug into caves and everything like moles, and they could care less if we blow up all of their citizenry. They couldn't care less. Matter of fact, they're afraid of their own citizens. They're afraid of their own citizens. So it's almost like to their benefit that we're bombing. However, if we go after their money, that's a different story.
Yeah. All right. The other story on the dispatch that we're talking about here is the discussion whether or not what Trump said in his speech about China will harm the relationship with President Xi when he is coming to the United States of America. I don't know about your opinion on this. I think it's going to have zero effect.
No, it'll have zero effect. It'll have zero effect. I just want to point out something to everybody here. And you know that we stand with the administration. We stand with President Trump and his cabinet and everything else. You guys know that. We have a long history of that. Just want to point out a couple of things. President Trump won in 2016. President Trump won in 2020. In 2016, you had the Obama administration that was in charge of the election. In 2024, it was the Biden administration. The only election that he lost was 2020.
Well, Well, going along with it, that's why he's putting together the Save America Act, which it's already so difficult to do. But he's not, just because he's the president of the United States doesn't mean he has all the infrastructure to do it, to prevent everything. I mean, look how long it's taken to get the Save America Act. It's right there, and it's still being held up. All right.
But you see my point.
I do see a point. I see a point with that. All right. Let's just. I do want to talk about this one because it's an older video, but it just shows what I believe China really cares about, and Hold on
a second. Are we able to take control of Cog Island without boots on the ground? We have to have boots on the ground.
Okay, and I don't know if this is William. I don't know if this is William's idea about it, but boots on the ground on Cog Island, doesn't it make them us, United States, a sitting duck?
No, we would have no. We would have plenty. This would be at a point after we've neutralized all of their known ability to attack us. That's number one, and then we would have plenty of operational support if we put guys, because there'll have to be people there, right. to handle the oil and everything else. So,
all right.
Probably, not for nothing. It'll probably be oil companies.
Right. All right, guys. I just want to bring out a couple of things here. If you could go to georgemagazine.com, we have a store. And you can buy a lot of our products there. We do appreciate it. But most of all, what we've been trying to push people to is these 2 ebooks that you could get, the crypto ebook and also the AI one as well. And by getting that, you can also get the updates and stay in tune with what's going on, especially when we have days like this where we're, I won't say off topic.
We have a major article coming out in the next issue of George Magazine all about how XRP is poised to just be so integrated into our whole financial system after the passing of the Clarity Act. And it lays out the case and everything that's going on behind the scenes and so on. But once this Clarity Act passes, that's going to be a very good thing for XRP.
Right, because it's built in. It's one of the ones that is built in.
Right.
Oh, going along with that, if I could just use the analogy here. When people in Congress that are in there, the reason why a lot of them get rich is not always illegal. But if you know where the roads are going, they're the ones that are buying the properties because they know
time travelers.
It could be a definition of time travel. They're moving. All right. So when you go there and they do that, they know where the exit of the future highway is. So they buy the land there cheap on the dollar, and then suddenly, hey, you got that land there. It's people, McDonald's buys it up or whatever. Gas stations.
Yeah, but that's insider trading.
It's legal. I mean, insider trading is legal for these guys in Congress. They know where it is. Hey, this is called gaming the system. It's called gaming the system. What are you talking about? Of course it's legal for them.
If you know that a certain company is going to get a huge government contract, and the day before the contract is issued, you go and buy up 500,000 shares of their stock.
Dave, you know that the Congress is allowed to do this. They're allowed to do that. It is. I mean, it's a loophole or whatever. That's how they get rich. Same with the roads. It's not illegal.
I know, but are you sure that that's a loophole? I mean, I know they do it, and no one calls them out for it. That's the problem.
Okay. There. All right.
I don't think it's all that legal. It's
all right.
The trading.
No. Okay. Let's look at. All right.
In other words, you're not just making a prediction based on the prospectus and the company's earnings and what they've announced.
I'm illustrating how they make their money. That's how people go into office with so much, whatever wealth. I forgot what you call it.
Yes, that part of your statement is true. But are you sure that
it's legal? Look it up.
Is
look. All right. Come on, guys. We have so many people here. Someone look at. Someone time travel and look it up right now.
Hey, here we go.
Oh my goodness, what the hell are we doing here?
Jaco says he time travels, and he has had guests that well, this is Melinda, and Melinda's terrific, by the way. She's a very big supporter on X, and she's just fantastic. All right, Jaco says he time travels, and he has had guests that have said they did as well. I don't listen to him since Kirsten W days. It's been a crazy ride. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Can you even imagine if these wackadoos were actually time traveling and they were going back and like altering their own behavior in the past that would alter the timelines for everybody else? That's not happening.
I am not, listen.
That's not happening.
Dave, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying the definition of time travel could be different.
I'm not defending him, but I'm going to argue his case for him.
Well, I'm just saying that there's. Oh my goodness, the definition. Okay, I'm out of analogies here. Out of analogies.
Right. Anyone says that? Oh, I've been time traveling.
Oh my goodness,
time traveling.
All right. What are we doing here? Are we? All right, guys, let's do this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hold on a second. Mint Julep found out. See, very good. Inside
is it? All right.
All citizens, period. Right. And it's comforting to know, and not that he passed away is comforting, but it's good to know that Lindsay was not in on all of this insider trading. I mean, he's gone now, but what he left behind was appropriate for somebody that has spent as much time in Congress as he did.
Yeah, I think it's a shame what people. I say this before. It's the generation of slander.
No, let's keep this one going. Look, the whole thing is everything is heading towards quantum computing, quantum technology, and so on. That is where all of the medical breakthroughs that are really going to shock people are going to come from. So our role now is to help you understand the foundational aspects of that. And that's what we're trying to do with the speed of light and time. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about quantum physics and Tesla and so on, because that plays a role. So, this is part of our responsibility to get this kind of info out there.
Yeah, I know.
You guys that actually listen to us will have a better understanding. And not to talk about movies. I'm shocked you're not quoting "Dude, Where's My Car?" Why aren't you quoting lines from that? They had the time travelers in there too.
They with all due respect, dude. Oh my goodness, I'm off my game today. All right, thank you so much. We did it, right? Anything else?
No, I mean, for real. Why don't you get those two guys? Right? Didn't they have time travelers? They were looking for something that they had in the car, right? Some globe or something like that. It wasn't the flux capacitor. It was something else.
See, it could be flux capacitor is what makes time travel possible. I was fell off my chair and I bumped my head and I drew a picture of a.
Yeah, that's probably exactly how it happened. Thank you, Brad.
All right,
that's much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. Thank you. All right, guys, we got to go.
We're gonna go now. Tomorrow we'll talk about quantum physics. We'll tie it in with this today. We'll talk about the rivalry between Einstein and Tesla, and the ether, and all of that stuff.
All right, guys.
It'll be great.
Really enjoyed the show. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you, Lord of Elaine, tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for checking us out. Don't forget to go to georgemagazine.com and sign up for the Dispatch. It's free. Get the emails and the news stories. And check us out Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can check us out on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you then.